Warning: the Not Thought podcast contains language and content that may not be suitable for younger audiences. Listener discretion is advised. There will also be spoilers for various anime throughout the course of this episode. Please use caution in case we discuss a series you haven't finished. Finally, the opinions expressed are those of the individual participants and may not reflect the Not Thought podcast as a whole. Enjoy the show.
Demon toilet paper? I hear it's really good for your buttocks.
Amon?
How the fuck am I supposed to follow that, Andrew? God damn it.
And Patrick.
I have one. Dragon Ball Daima, maybe the second time in history that making the chest children was a good idea. There we go.
Yeah. Going by what I just said, gathered these five gentlemen here tonight for a very special occasion. We're here to talk about the latest entry in the Dragon Ball franchise, and also simultaneously the final work of the late and great Akira Toriyama, Dragon Ball Daima.
Rest in peace to one of the all-time greats. Mm-hmm. It's kind of interesting that we kind of sort of did a farewell to him when we covered the Dragon Ball Superhero last year. But in a strange way, I feel this is a better representation of him as a creator than that was.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is extremely Toriyama in all of his forms.
Yes.
Yep. So if you haven't seen Daima, which would be kind of odd, I imagine you. I imagine you clicked on this and saw Dragon Ball. But if you somehow have not seen Daima, very quick description. After the defeat of Majin Buu, Goku and the others find themselves on a new adventure, where they're suddenly turned back into children by Goma, the supreme king of the demon realm. Now they must travel through the strange and mysterious demon realm in order to turn themselves back to normal and defeat Goma. Pretty straightforward. In retrospect, well, not even retrospect. Like, basically from the get-go, this is basically just, hey, what if we redid GT?
Actually, let me comment on the thing you just said right now. Hi, if you have also just clicked on this just because you saw Dragon Ball in the title, and you are one of those people who's still really mad about Death Battles Goku versus Superman, hey, that new Superman movie is really good, and Goku and Superman would be best buddies. They're basically the same story anyways when you think about it. Okay, thanks, bye.
Goku was clearly inspired by Superman in some ways, and now all these modern iterations of Superman are just making him into a Saiyan. It's all coming full circle.
Hey, guess what guess what Dragon Ball Daima is about? It's about Goku facing people with magic. He can't easily beat magic.
Oh my god.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Time really is a flat circle, isn't it?
Sure is. My god.
But
Next you're gonna tell me is somebody's going to make a very absurd statement, like saying Dragon Ball Daima is basically an isekai, like that asshole Anime News Network reviewer claimed. What was his fucking name again?
I don't know. Something Snyder. I don't know.
Something Snyder.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, let's go with that. Okay.
Look, you have the internet. You can find it out for yourself if you want to. Anyway. We're here to talk about Daima, and specifically its English dub, which, for some reason, which for some reason got a bit of a weird delay. It wasn't too ridiculous, but we did have to wait 2 or 3 months for the dub instead of a couple of weeks because I don't know. I guess Toei
gonna Toei.
Whatever reason, but
Toei is gonna Toei, but whoa, none of those.
Congratulations, you've invented a
Sorry.
new tongue twister.
Toei stepping on their own toes is not always easy, but, you know. If anything, they were stepping on Crunchy's toes.
But, yeah. But even we had to wait a little bit. We did get a dub, and we're gonna talk about it. Okay, so we're gonna start this off by talking about the folks behind the booth, the voice director, and the adapted scriptwriter for this dub. On voice direction, we have one Jonathan Rigg, and for adapted scriptwriting, we have one Jared Green. Jonathan Rigg has done voice direction on such shows as MF Ghost, Blue Lock, and Twilight Out of Focus. And Jared Green has done adapted scripts on such series as Empire Ranman, Kaiju Number 8, and Ranking of Kings. Notably, this somehow ended up being an in-house dub as opposed to being done in Overtron 5000 like most things Dragon Ball related.
It is weird not seeing Christopher Sabat's name attached to this from behind the mic. I know we're used to him being like Veggie or Piccolo, but like he did direct a whole bunch of Dragon Ball stuff, so it is pretty wild to see him or not his usual Okatron 5000 attached. Not necessarily a bad thing, because I do find Jonathan to be a pretty interesting director, and it's pretty cool getting to see him tackle something with the iconic legacy name as Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job with this. Everyone here sounds really consistent. And one thing I thought was particularly interesting about this dub is that while the younger versions of these characters aren't necessarily going for direct imitations of the adult versions, you definitely tell they're kind of trying to go for something with the same energy, and I thought that was interesting.
I think when you're playing characters as, iconic as, the cast of Dragon Ball, there's always going to be a little bit of imitation. It kind of reminds me of, Lanny Bator talking about how, he got the Vegeta voice he used for DBZ Abridged from playing all the Budokai games. And there's a similar energy there, even if not complete, which we're not going to be talking about every single different mini version, because most of them only show up for an episode, or maybe a line, but some of them were pretty fucking close. I gotta shout out, Jordan Dash Cruz's Master Roshi is kind of uncanny.
Oh yeah, that one was funny.
Goddamn, impressive stuff.
And props for the casting director, whether it be Jonathan Rigg, someone at Crunchyroll, or, Toei, probably a combination of the three. Because in terms of the younger version casting, there is only one reprisal. I actually kind of like the idea that they went back and kind of took a look at their available roster to see who would be a good fit for everybody. Because let's be real, the last time they've had to do, really young versions of these characters was probably, 10, 15 years ago, probably more.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it is at least, all of these being played by new people, save for one, is consistent with the Japanese. That is, specifically what Daima did in Japanese as well. Clean slate from everybody, except Masako Nozawa, because that is her birthright, and that woman is like late 80s. She will play Goku until she can no longer Kamehameha anymore.
Yeah, and not, and in addition to kind of going with clean slate for this, I thought it was interesting that as far as the younger versions of these characters went, they went for a lot of newer actors, not new in some cases, but definitely like a lot of names that you wouldn't like immediately recognize, and I thought that was interesting.
Let's put it like this: we are a bunch of dedicated anime dub actor freaks. So even if we're not familiar with a name, we might be like, oh, I've seen them credited on this one show I watched. But if you are somebody, say, a Dragon Ball fan, derogatory, which basically means you have watched 3 to 5 shonen anime in your lifetime, these are people you have probably never heard of at all, playing characters you've known your whole life. Which is pretty cool.
And is there anything you want to add, Amon?
I think the main thing that, in addition to what you guys are saying, I gotta be honest, I feel like the phony here, because I get the impression you guys have actually kept up with Dragon Ball. And mine is much more, I watched as a kid, and then as an adult, I read a little bit of manga, realized it had the greatest joke in the history of fiction, and consequently have completely failed to actually get through past the Frieza saga, because that joke happens in chapter 36 of regular Dragon Ball. However, yeah? Have I told you this?
That's very funny.
Have I told you this joke that I think if I encountered as a child, I'd be much more of a Dragon Ball kid?
No.
Early on, it's Goku and Krillin are in the first tournament that ever shows up in Dragon Ball. And Krillin is set up to fight this guy who's this big ogre-looking dude whose gimmick is just that he stinks so bad. He smells awful to the point where everyone just instinctively has to clench their nose to fight him, which is how he wins, because everyone's fighting at a disadvantage. Krillin is getting his ass handed to him, and Goku's there trying to root him on, and all of a sudden, while he's like down for the count, about to lose, a thought occurs to Goku, and he just tells him, Krillin, the smell's in your head. You don't need to do that. You don't have a nose. And this is really the genius of Akira Toriyama. No, he's not just drawing it because he doesn't want to fucking bother drawing a nose for this guy. It's now a plot point that he just literally doesn't have a nose.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Never forget the only reason Super Saiyans exist is because Toriyama didn't have to.
Look, I know so many artists who look at that and it's like, he has such a big brain. What a genius. I wish I was that smart.
Oh, I think the thing that makes Toriyama kind of amazing is that he is one of the most influential guys in the industry, and he was effectively thinking smarter, not harder.
The only person in the history of the world who's actually thought smarter, not hard. It's like, how do I get back to smoking and reading my porno max? What's the fastest way I can get back to doing that today?
No inked hair! Perfect!
I'll just draw this guy without a nose.
He wants to make good comics, he just also wants to be done for the day because he's a little bit lazy. Good for him. What a guy.
I think that's kind of why Daima is so charming, because it is simultaneously... You remember back 30 years ago when Dragon Ball GT was kind of pitched as, like, the return to old-style Dragon Ball, but, like, as the sequel to the Buu Saga? This is that 2.0... very much
cleaner.
Part
of the reason I like it is it feels very much like I've always said part of Toriyama's thing is that he's a gag cartoonist who accidentally revolutionized fight comics, and I feel like this captures that really well. And I think a thing I really like about the dub is I think it nails the comedy very well. We'll get a lot of that in the next section when we get to my favorite character in this silly piece of nonsense. But it's a really funny dub. They really nailed the jokes. The bit in Like, the bit early on where they first go to the Demon World and they're talking about how it just smells real bad, and Goku first makes a crack about how it'd be easy to hide a fart there, and then later just admits that, like, oh yeah, no, that was me. I'm gonna own up to it now. It's like, yes,
He's literally like, hey, I gotta poop. Can I have some toilet paper? And that's how you know this is Akira Toriyama. Not because he's put a lot of thought into, like, the power level or how strong they are compared to when they were adults as they were children. He's like, no. I can make a poop joke right now.
How many poop jokes can I sneak into 22 minutes?
He instinctively understands what 8 to 12-year-olds find funny, and that is how he harnesses his power. That's why he's so beloved, because he understands.
But this is just a really funny show. Like, it's still quintessential Dragon Ball, but it also is genuinely, like, for, like, a new crew, they understand what good Dragon Ball sounds like. And I think that's the biggest compliment I could give it, is that this is quintessential modern Dragon Ball.
Yeah, and I know we didn't give too much credit to the script critic here, but I really do like what Jared Green brought to the table with this dub. A lot of really good one-liners sprinkled in, and it's a lot of fun.
This feels. It's been a very long time since I've seen like early Dragon Ball or anything, but like this feels classic. Like this feels like something where I can put it on in 20 years and it will feel just as fresh and new as it does right now. Like it's good comedy.
Having gone through the original Dragon Ball dub like a year or two ago, this does feel very in line with that, but like definitely not quite as Americanized. Like you don't, you don't get weird comments about like Goku being its savior of justice, which I still find that really funny just because like they had that sentence in the same vision of like Goku and his allies in the Saviors of Justice would somehow include characters like Launch, which if you remember anything about Launch, that's just extreme.
I'll be honest, Goku by himself being the savior of justice is already very funny. He mostly just wants to eat and have a nap. What are we talking about here?
There are people whose brain chemistry has still been forever warped by the I am the hope of the universe. I cry out for all living things that cry out. It's like, it's that whole level of like, the Superman, the people who are mad at Goku compared to Superman, when it's like they literally just wrote Goku to be Superman, and like now modern Superman, everybody's realizing, oh, that's just they're just one and the same. They're meant to be the good town, like, farm kid doing their best one at a time. Except sometimes your hater is your biggest rival. Goku turned all of his haters into rivals. Holy shit.
Okay, Andrew, for a second I thought you were going to compare Vegeta to Lex Luthor, and I just wanted to know, I've never been more.
I mean, they do both have
Vegeta's got hair.
I mean, he has hair, but have you seen that hairline? It's fighting for its life, man.
It's fighting for his life. Also,
God, Vegeta's hairline is getting
okay, I'm
gonna
say something extremely. See, I was gonna say, if you want to say something really cursed, technically speaking, Vegeta is fucking this world's Lex Luthor.
You know?
We're gonna get so many angry comments on this video. I'm so happy.
Good! Good! Come at us, angry Dragon Ball fans! Thank you for tuning in!
How dare you compare Promo to Lex Luthor?
This is gonna be a good one.
I mean, sure, you're right in terms of ego, but otherwise, Bulma's good people. Like mostly.
Bulma literally uses the power of the almighty wish-granting Dragon Balls to make her ass fatter and her skin look younger. That is something Luthor would do, and you can't say I'm wrong.
Okay, no, you're wrong, because Luthor would just use the Dragon Ball to destroy Superman.
See, now all I'm thinking about is that time in the comics where he was dying of cancer, so he made a clone and masqueraded as his own Australian bastard child for about 5 years.
Let us not act like James Gunn's Nicholas Hoult Lex Luthor would not make his penis bigger for the sake of making it look bigger than Superman's by like an inch.
So many cursed but true things being said on this episode.
See, here's the difference between Lex Luthor and Bulma. Okay, Lex Luthor wants to defeat Superman in order to prove to the world that he's the greatest man to ever live. Bulma, on the other hand, is just objectively the greatest woman to ever live. She knows it, everyone knows it. She doesn't need to prove anything to anybody.
Fair enough.
I love doing this show, guys.
It's good.
We're having the real debates
fun
tonight.
Alright, so we can move on, guys.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay. Alright, so we're gonna move on by talking about some of our supporting cast. So we have Neva, King Ghidon, Hybis, Mini Bulma, Mini Vegeta, and Mini Piccolo, to which, you can tell this is a very odd Dragon Ball series when we somehow have Bulma, Piccolo, and Vegeta in, like, the supporting section.
It's a really odd series because I'm kind of trying to figure out how they decided who was going to be important to this plot. Because, like Kabito is kind of important, but then they just didn't have room for him for, like, 2 or 3 episodes. And then it's like, oh, I guess you're out of the plot now. And also, like, Majin Buu is a literal Majin. This is a series that takes place in the demon world, where if you're watching this on, like, Hulu or Netflix, all the captions are, like, Majin 4B. It's a world of Majins. Majin Buu's one role in the series is to run across the screen like a Smiling Friends character, and then is never seen from again.
That's the Akira Toriyama way. That's what that is.
He literally doesn't know what to do with Majin Buu as a character. He literally makes him an entire setting where you can do something with Majin Buu as a character, and then it's just like, nah.
It's much funnier to make a knockoff who's slightly different, but different enough.
Alright, so just going over these characters real quick. Neva is an elderly Namekian who pretends to be senile, but is actually the creator of the Demon World Dragon Balls and the Tamagami who guard them. King Ghidon is the king of the third Demon World who enlists Goku to help fight King Goma, and is basically just a mob boss.
He's just a fucking mafia Yakuza guy. It's great.
Hybis is one of King Ghidon's henchmen who gets roped into helping out Goku and the others, but just clearly does not want to be here at all. And then we've got Bulma, Vegeta, and Piccolo, and it's like, do I really need to bother with descriptions? You know who these characters are.
Bulma is the best woman in the world. Vegeta is everybody's favorite shonen rival, and Piccolo is everybody's favorite surrogate black dad.
Yeah, pretty much. So going into who plays these characters, playing Neva, we have Garrett Snack. Playing King Ghidon, we have Major Attaway. For Hybis, we have Kristen Suden. For Mini Bulma, we have Taylor Murphy. For Mini Vegeta, we have Paul Castro Jr. For Mini Piccolo, we have very apologies in advance if I don't pronounce this correctly. Nassim Betancourt. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Garrett Stack has played such characters as Zeph in One Piece, Emperor Go Shirakawa in the Heike story, and Warren in Fairy Tail. Major Attaway has played such characters as Osawa Fusataro in Golden Kamuy, Queen in One Piece, and Murdoch in Pokemon Horizons. Kirsten Sudan has played such characters as Shiori Sakuran and Kazuma Dediwayan, Shiro in the Helpful Fox Senko-san, and Rigo Kikuchi and Kikuchi Goto. Taylor Murphy has played such characters as Olamandra in Headhunter to Another World, Camellia in I Left My A-Rank Party, and Sarasa Sayoji in Liar Liar. Paul Castro Jr. has played such characters as Bakun in Beyblade X, Yuhi Odo in Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, and Ryota Miyagi in the first Slam Dunk. And Nassim Betancourt has played such characters as Yunai Sakamoto in MF's Ghost, Nadir in Sugar Apple Fairy Tale, and Gogar in The Great Cleric. So, what order do you guys want to start with these guys?
I'm gonna say we saved the best character for last. You already know who that is. I don't need to say it.
Pretty much.
Okay. I want to open up with talking about King Kadan, because I love the fact that I can talk about Major Attaway playing a fucking mob king. It's just a mob boss. Jet, since I know for sure you watched this in, like, the Japanese, I gotta ask your personal opinion. Were they going for, like, a Yakuza guy in the Japanese, or did he just seem like just kind of a tough guy that's trying to fake it till he makes it?
He just seemed like kind of a tough guy in Japanese, as far as I remember. So I think going for a mob boss impression of the dub was a very inspired and very correct choice.
It was a very correct choice. I love the fact that he's a mob boss. I love that Pansy's like a mob princess. I kind of love that all of his goons kind of talk like they're Italian mobsters too, even though they're like a ragtag band that's just like, they're just barely making by. They're just stealing shit all the time. It's great.
And I have to give particular props to Major Attaway for this. Not only because he makes the character Kadan sound like a mob boss, he makes him sound like a Broadway mob boss. Like, there is that little extra theatrical flair to it.
That's fucking Audrey 2 and the Genie, alright. That man is a Broadway professional, and it shows. So I love the fact that he's in Dragon Ball yucking it up. Just a delightfully silly character. Like, they're a very charming addition to the cast just by, like, the silliness of the voice and the bit. Also, like, a lot of his goons were funny, too. I think the hot sword lady was Crystal Laporte, if I remember correctly. But I just remember, like, there's a hot sword lady here. I wanted more of the hot sword lady.
You and every person who watches the show.
Yes. Look. Toriyama can make some real pretty ladies. He can make some real pretty ladies. Okay, I recognize not all of this is Toriyama, but, like, a lot of this just feels like his DNA, like, start to finish. In a way that most series or recent Dragon Ball entries have just kind of felt like, alright, sure, I'll draft up a Broly versus Gogeta fanfiction. Why not?
This feels much more like it has his fingerprints on it in a way that I'll, like, as you're saying, I haven't seen a lot of the more recent Dragon Ball stuff. It does feel Mark as much like, yeah, I'll design like a couple of characters and make a plot outline, and then the animators at Toei will do most of the heavy lifting about it. And this feels he feels more involved, just based on like where it goes and the creative decision it makes.
Frankly, it's kind of weird to say that my biggest criticism with Daima as a series is that it didn't go longer, which usually when you're talking about Dragon Ball, you don't want it to go for longer.
Oh, how the times have changed.
But, like, it feels like it needed at least 4 to 6 more episodes to give a couple of the newer people, like, their time to really figure out what their deals are. But I do think it was worth it in the end, because the climax of the series is genuinely some of the best animated Dragon Ball fighting I've ever fucking seen.
But, yeah, circling back to Major Attaway, yeah, real good job. Just really funny as King Gadon. I loved all his lines and the way he just kind of shows up in the last minute to help Goku and the others out. So, I thought that was pretty wild.
Good squad, good final assault on the castle, good shit.
Also, I guess we'll kind of get to this when we talk about Goku, but I do just appreciate the very quick, like, you can marry my daughter gag, and then Goku just be like, oh, yeah, I have a wife and a kid, actually.
I have a wife and a kid. How old are you? How old are you? Dad, come on! I'm only 82 years old, and I'm like, oh no. Oh no. For once, I genuinely believe Toriyama did the 1,000-year-old loli thing for an actual joke and not to goon. Wild. Wild.
That's Toriyama for you.
Oh.
Also,
Less.
I do have to say that, well, the best character in the show is in this segment. My favorite performance of the show, I would actually say, is Garrett Schneck as Neva.
Really?
You
Do
see,
tell.
It's probably not incredibly difficult, very fun, but not very difficult, to play an actual fool in a show or an anime dub. I can imagine there is a level of difficulty to somebody playing a character who is hyper competent but playing the fool in order to trick people into thinking that they are not hyper competent.
It's basically the idea of having the really high IQ and being really strong, but trying to basically, like, I want people to leave me alone, so I'm basically going to be the harlequin nobody pays any mind to. It's effectively kind of a survival strategy, which I do gotta say, I didn't mind the angle they took for Namekians in this. Because, basically, King Piccolo used to be a demon, and then they got to be slug people aliens, and Toriyama, with his final will and testament, decided, fuck it. They're demons who became alien nomads.
Both.
Fuck you.
Both.
Yeah. The good kind of retcon.
It's a good kind of retcon, not unlike the retcon of, oh yeah, you're 9 years old, you're just gonna look really young for a while, and then you're gonna have a sudden growth spurt. Fuck you. Fuck that. No, fuck off. Goten and Trunks will never grow up. They will never be allowed to grow up again.
I mean, they apparently have in, like, the later parts of the Super manga, but, like, that's basically it.
Anyways. I will say, I did like the one retcon about, hey, why are Supreme Kai and Kibito no longer fused? Yeah, so we saw your little hack about how Vegito became unfused when he went inside of Boo. So we asked Boo to vor us, and now we're back to ourselves.
His brain is so big.
Sure! Sure! That works for me.
But yeah, I did like Garrett Snacker's name. I thought the characters were really interesting. Like Patrick was saying, really good job of kind of playing the fool initially and sort of lulling King Goma to false sense of security and thinking that he's just kind of a goofball, and then just kind of gradually revealing that he's actually a lot wiser and more powerful than he lets on. And I thought it was pretty interesting just kind of seeing him go over like the history of the Mechians and the ways they were kind of used by other people in the demon world, and the way he's and the kind of lengths he's gone to sort of like keep the Mechians out of danger. I thought that whole thing was pretty interesting.
I actually did kind of like the fact that they like addressed like Namekian slavery and servitude, where it's like you have power, but the people misused and disrespected you even with that power, and that's why you had to run. And I'm like, huh, you know, it's almost like Akira Toriyama might be, in his old age, getting a little woke. A little bit. Next thing you'll tell me is that suddenly the Supreme Kais are all canonically gender non-binary, non-conforming at all. Oh shit!
I was going to say, like, Toriyama stuff isn't usually, like, all that political, at least from what I've seen. But if you do want to see Toriyama doing something political, go check out Sandland. You'll definitely get a sense on nuclear weapons there.
This, as somebody who's not even seen all of Sandland, this does feel relatively close to that, specifically in, like, the way they portray, like, the demon world, and the fact that, like, the Demon King, Deborah, and Abura are all pretty close to how, like, the Demon Prince look and all that. But yeah, I really like Garrett Schneck as Neva. I think he's a very charming but very welcome addition to the cast. And I think he's it's really interesting where he's like, yeah, I didn't want to make it too easy. I made the Dragon Balls, I didn't want to make it too easy. So now I got the Tamagami that guards them. Like, the world of the Demon Realm effectively feels like an RPG. This is why it feels so Toriyama, is that it is Sandland, it is Dragon Ball, it is Dragon Ball GT, but it is also like Dragon Quest in that there is a quest. There is a goal. You're supposed to literally defeat the Demon King.
Yeah, you even have everyone coming together for the big final battle. So,
yes! It really is just a Dragon Quest game. When you think about it, the Tamagami are all optional super bosses. So yeah.
Yeah. And, as I guess, talking about the mini versions of Piccolo, Vegeta, and Bulma, I don't think we got too much of Mini Piccolo in this show, but I thought Nassim did a pretty good job.
I really liked Nassim. I think there's just something about him playing this cool, like, it's a clearly younger version of Piccolo, but he plays him with, like, this level of, like, wise, worldly knowledge, where it's like he's seen a lot, he's dealt a lot, but he's kind of part of the squad either way, in that he's a calm, collected character, but he's still been around these people long enough to get his jabs in here and there. Like, he can give Vegeta shit. And that's wonderful.
Yeah, I also do he does a pretty good job by, like you were saying, kind of playing the wise end of the group, definitely playing things very serious in a way that does kind of feel reminiscent of how Chris Sabat normally plays Piccolo. I also appreciate that they aren't afraid to let him be the butt of the joke here and then. Like I especially appreciate when David's kind of going over the history of the Namekians, and David saying that the Namekians are supposed to use their powers for evil, and then immediately
they all look at Piccolo, and it's like, come on, he didn't know, he was only like 3, he was still young. He didn't know. Nobody taught him. His dad spit him out as an egg through his throat and told him kill Goku over and over again. That kind of stunted his early childhood, you dig? That's not all on him.
That's also kind of interesting. I'm gonna put a spoiler alert out right now that I really don't have too much of an opinion on Mini Bulma or Mini Vegeta, because they're honestly really good recreations of Chris Sabat and Monica Rial's performance. Nassim as Piccolo, though, is really interesting because you don't actually get a look at young Piccolo in the original Dragon Ball. Like, you get the mini Demon King Piccolo in the World Tournament arc. That's about it. So it's really interesting because the Daima anime is basically making a young Piccolo from scratch.
And I think it is a pretty interesting take on the Piccolo, and like I said, Nassim's got the chops for it. I was pretty impressed with his performance, both as being his own distinct character while also getting a lot of what Piccolo is and has always been as a character in the cast. And I think that's real cool, and really definitely putting Nassim on my map going forward.
Nassim pulls the neat trick of sounding like a first grader, but keeping all that gravitas that Piccolo has. Where even when he's being Piccolo and Vegeta as well, for that matter, are both very classic examples. They are funny because they are trying to be serious, and the world will not let them keep their dignity about it. And Nassim does a good job of... Especially Vegeta. Nassim does a good job of he sounds young, but he has that sort of... if you made, a Dragon Ball dub that had, screen and stage actor type people, you would absolutely get some sort of Shakespearean guy to play Piccolo. That's the mood you want with Piccolo. And I think Nassim, captures that quality about him, where he, in another story, he could absolutely be, some grand tragic figure or something. But he's in Dragon Ball, so it's not really how his story goes.
Sometimes you need, the good Shakespearean actor who's also a good comedy actor, which is basically my way of saying Nassim as Piccolo is the Patrick Stewart of Dragon Ball Daima.
See, I like that you went there, but when I thought of that, I also thought of actors who like being in nonsense, and you know who's Shakespearean trained and loves being in nonsense? Anthony Hopkins loves being in nonsense. He would be a great old Piccolo. Imagine that voice coming out of Piccolo.
Ooh.
I mean... that is inspired, I'll give you that.
Hold on there. Let me put this thought into your head. Idris Elba.
Ooh.
He's Shakespearean trained.
I can't hear it.
I can hear it too. That's pretty good, my friend.
Yeah. Going over a couple of the other ones real quick. I like Taylor Murphy's Bulma. I thought it was pretty solid. I do think it was kind of interesting that they definitely made Bulma not I wouldn't say they're toned her down too much, but it's definitely at least mildly nicer in this show, which I guess does kind of make sense because you do kind of have Pansy kind of filling the role Bulma normally would and sort of playing the straight man to Goku. So so I guess it kind of makes sense and toned Bulma down a little bit in that sense. But otherwise I thought the show did a pretty good job. Kind of pretty neat order, and it kind of makes Bulma a fun character.
Oh, I think she's got all the things that makes Bulma fun, and while she's also does a good job bouncing off of everybody else, I do think she puts her own cute, fun, charming little spin on it, and I think Taylor does an incredible job getting what makes Bulma a fun character.
Yeah.
Because, like, it is sometimes easy to write Bulma bad. Even Akira Toriyama has written Bulma bad. We all grew up with the Namek Saga reruns, we know. So, like, yeah, no, Bulma's still, like, doing a good job. They found a good balance for her as, like, I'm not really fazed by all this nonsense anymore. I just kind of want to be along for the ride. I don't want to hang out with my hubby, because why not? Which, like, fucking, that woman has that man leashed. And it's so funny. It's so funny.
She loves her husband and understands that he will cause problems if you let him. So you need to nip that in the bud.
Speaking of said husband, Paul Castro Jr. as Vegeta, just like out of all these actors, this is the one where you can just like very clearly hear the impression, like.
You can hear the impression, but that kind of makes it all the more impressive. Like, I've heard a lot of Paul Castro Jr. recently. He's been making a real name for himself. This is kind of a really good impression of, like, Vegeta. I didn't know he had this in him.
He gets the arrogance across pretty well, which just makes it all the funny whenever he gets dumped on constantly. It's great.
And also, let's put it like this. The Dragon Ball School of Screaming is effectively the boot camp of anime dubbing. And these are all a bunch of people who've been around the voice actor for a couple of years. But a lot of them haven't gotten the Dragon Ball boot camp screaming trip. Paul Castro really gets to show off his Dragon Ball boot camp screaming. Especially when he gets to fight against one of the Tamagami. And he gets to do a real good Super Saiyan 3 scream. He's got the chops. He's got the impression. He's doing the Vegeta voice and impression while also still doing a really, really impressive anime scream at the same time. And that's a lot of balls to be juggling all at once.
To which I literally just realized something as you were talking. Like, man, if you're really thinking about it, Super Saiyan 3 Mini Vegeta is basically just Super Shadow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't.
I'm gonna go contemplate the snow outside the window now. Excuse me.
Okay.
I can't dispute this.
Ugh. Fuck. You know what makes me the most mad, Chet? I didn't say it first. I'm proud of you, but I'm mad that I didn't say it first. Fuck. Mini Vegeta would ride a motorcycle and cock an AK-47. Fuck!
No. Vegeta wouldn't cock an AK-47. He's got his own muscles and energy blast.
To which while we aren't going over the adult versions in too much detail, we will at least mention them in passing. So, quick shout out to Chris Savin and Monica Rial for just like the funniest exchange in this entire show.
Can we just say that this show makes a very explicit reference of the fact that Vegeta is a boob man on multiple occasions? And, like, he's getting shit on by Piccolo, he's getting shit on by Bulma, and he's getting shit on by the best character in the show, Hybis. We'll get to you in a second, buddy. But the best exchange is literally just Vegeta being Vegeta, and it's like, fuck you, I'm gonna take this guy one-on-one, you can't stop me. Bulma, I got this, guys. Vegeta, you stupid motherfucker! If you don't get down here right this minute, you're never bathing with me again! And the look of shock, horror, and upset in his voice as he immediately flies down. Alright, it's your turn.
Yeah, the best part of that is that it's just like
doesn't
immediate,
just
like
work,
literally no
it
hesitation.
immediately works.
Incredible. I think the fact that Daima understands not only is Dragon Ball cool, and not only is Dragon Ball creative, Dragon Ball can genuinely be really fucking funny if you let it be.
Oh yeah.
Like, I love that the show understands that Vegeta being absolutely whipped outweighs his pride by such a magnitude.
But, like I said, major props to Paul Castro for doing an incredible job as mini Vegeta, like, in an uncanny but also unique way that is all its own. But yeah, the best thing about Daima is not only is it good Dragon Ball, it's also really good Dragon Ball comedy, which I think is a perfect segue for the best character in the show, Hibis.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Just the weirdest little fucking guy. Like, I think there are some characters where it's like, I was upset the fact that they left them hanging, or it's like, I really feel like we need to get a little better understanding for Aransu and Glorio, or maybe a better understanding of Degasu's motivations and all that. No, we got exactly enough of Hibis. What's Hibis's deal? He's part of Kadan's crew. He kinda doesn't want to be here right now. He's just a weird little guy. He's also somehow the most important character in the show because he accidentally stumbled upon, like, the biggest MacGuffin in the show. Through happenstance. Like, literally in the chat, as I'm watching it, I literally screamed out in the chat, "Is that the fucking third eye?"
Yes! Yes, it is.
Yep.
He just had it in his belt! He just had it in his belt because he's like, oh, that looks neat.
Afterwards, I think afterwards, one of my favorite bits with him is just like, it's like after he loses the belt and he sees Goma with it, everyone's wondering what happens. Like, he takes one look, immediately realizes what happens. And he's like,
I mean, hey, these things happen. That could have been anybody's fault.
We're all trying to find the guy.
I don't know, guys. That is exactly what it is. Oh my god. But Christy plays him with, like, this strange alien little, I mean, I'm just kind of here right now. Guys want to play zombie game?
Whoever...
It's where you go in and shoot a bunch of zombies. It's fun.
Whoever between Kristen and Jonathan decided that that was the voice he should have should get a medal.
Okay.
It's so perfect. He's so... You could just... It's like... Just do his introduction where it's like, yeah, I got a haircut later, and I don't even remember who he's talking to. They just look up at his thing on his head and just trying to sort out, is that hair? Why are you telling me this? Later it becomes obvious he's just lying, but, you know, it's funny still.
Also, the best punchline in the best stupid exchange in the show, which, as an aside, I really thought that was Degasu, who transformed into a woman to seduce Hibis to steal the third eye. That was just another character that was introduced, and that was just Sarah Wiedenheft. He's just like, oh, you're so handsome. I'll trade you for that belt for a kiss. Nah, I don't want that. I'll take your hat, though.
Like,
And that's why I just was like, I thought of that fucking cursed 4chan exchange where it's like, oh no, you beat me in a Pokemon battle. I don't have any money. Perhaps there's something else you want. And it's the fucking soldier from Team Fortress 2. Give me your hat! And I'm like, fuck.
I love the writing of this show so much. Because... oh god, the whole villain gets the MacGuffin trope is played like the Burt Reynolds SNL sketch where he comes on to Jeopardy wearing the funny hat.
God.
Yeah.
But it's just so silly, it's so ridiculous, but it's so charming in a way that shouldn't work. And it does.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's another thing I appreciate about Chris's performance and just Hybris as a character. Besides Bulma, just one of the few characters who can just actually talk down Vegeta.
I think that's what makes Hybris so good, is that he doesn't give a shit about Vegeta.
He
doesn't give a shit about anyone here.
He is here to do the work so he can collect his one large worm pizza when he gets back home. And only one, because he cannot imagine wanting more than one large worm pizza at a time.
It's just this strangely silly character in a way that's, like, charming in all of the right ways.
I know, obviously...
Delightful little freak.
I know, obviously, Toriyama did not know this was going to be the last thing he was working on, but, like, it is appropriate that in one of the last thing he worked on, he introduced one more glorious, bewildering loser for the ages. A character type he truly excelled at, and always knew how to make work.
Okay, to be fair, the show has two of them, but we will get to the other one
I know,
later.
but, like, I'm very impressed. It's so good.
Let's put it like this. This loser is not going to be in the next Dragon Ball Sparking Zero DLC pack.
Well, see, that's
guy
very
is
disappointing.
just
I
here.
would buy that game just to have that DLC pack. I absolutely want to try and beat people playing this guy. I'm not going to be good at it, but I want to.
Okay, you might be able to get a compromise. You could get the guy from Super with the really large nipples.
I am not familiar with this character. You will have to explain later.
Oh, there's just a guy, because Majin Buu was supposed to take part in another tournament, and they didn't know what to do with Majin Buu, so they made him fall asleep. So it's like, ah, fuck, we need a guy for our slot for a tournament. Who's this? Beerus just found him.
Wait, is this the guy Damon Mills plays?
This is one of the guys Damon Mills plays.
I think I know who you're talking about now, okay.
His deal is that he's just a weird little guy who has really big nipples.
Right.
I think Hybris is better than the weird little guy with really big nipples, because I feel Hybris has a personality.
Yes.
Instead of just having really weird nipples.
But, yeah, Abbas is really fun. Griffith's a delight, like, just really funny.
Best little weirdo. Love him.
Absolutely.
I want good things for him.
I hope.
And so,
Do you think he... Okay, I have to actually ask you a question. Do you think Hybris gets bitches, yes or no?
You know what? Yes.
Andrew,
you know what I'm going to
Andrew,
say?
have you
Yes.
ever seen that one tweet where people are like, you can just say anything on the internet and people agree with it? Charlie Brown had hoes. No, he did not have hoes. And in that vein, no, Hybris does not have bitches. Look at him.
You know what? Fair.
I disagree. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say this.
Hymus does it, but not because he can't get him, it's simply because he just doesn't.
Hymus doesn't have bitches,
See,
but he definitely has
I
pull.
believe. Him having pull and just being too dumb and oblivious to realize it, that I believe. That I can believe.
Are we saying that Hypus has autistic Riz? Are we saying that Hypus has autistic
Yes,
Riz?
we are.
I think... Perfect! Thank you! We may move on now!
Alright, so with that, I guess... With that, I guess we're good to move on to our section of villains. So, quickly going over some of the villains of this show. We have King Goma, Degisu, Dr. Arinsu, Majin Ku, Majin Du, and Marva. King Goma is the current ruler of the Demon Realm after Nomura got killed by Buu. And since he's paranoid about King being in his position and fears Goku and the others as a threat, he decides to turn them into kids so they can oppose him, and this goes very, very poorly. Degisu is the Supreme Kai's younger brother and King Goma's assistant, who mostly just serves as his yes man while secretly wanting his position for himself. Dr. Aritsu is the Supreme Kai's older sister and an ambitious scientist who also wants to take King Goma's throne for herself. Majin Ku was one of the new Majin created by Dr. Aritsu and Marva. And despite being based off old Buu, he's not much of a fighter, but he is really good at supporting people, which comes in handy later. Majin Du is a second new Majin who gets created after Ku turns out to be a bit of a wimp. He has all of Buu's brawn, but not much of the brains, and mostly just wants chocolate. And then Marva is a witch who lends her talents for creating Majin to Aritsu. And the reason I wanted to talk about her is because we discover just very casually that she's the one who created Majin Buu in the first place. And also apparently might have created the Cybermen, which is just also really funny.
There is an insane amount of like, oh yeah, this might have just been a thing in the series now, which is... So, the Daima lore is all over the place because it's simultaneously retcon super, but simultaneously is also, like, explaining a lot of things that will become super, but also explaining a lot of things that happened in Dragon Ball Z in the side of things. It's like just very casually, oh yeah, we had Cybermen down here. Yeah, we're making a Majin Cybermen. Why not? While also throwing in, oh hey, did you know all the Supreme Kai are technically non-binary gendered? Like, Degisu and Arisu are like that because that's how they want to present themselves. They are legitimately gender queer. And they're trees. They're all tree people. And then there's Goma, who's just a little guy. He's just a little bitch, and I love him.
Yeah, in essence, he's just a reskin for Pilaf, and we love him for that.
He like, actually is a threat, but only when he gets the MacGuffin, but he is kind of a threat, but also he kind of sucks. It really is
So Emperor Pilaf.
Oh my god, Jet. No. No. He's not Pilaf. He's a perfected Garlic Jr.
And here I was just going to say... Okay, and here I was just going to say he's just very much a early Dragon Ball villain as opposed to a Dragon Ball Z villain.
No, that's why he's Garlic Jr. He's like the combination of before Z became Z, but before Dragon Ball stopped being Dragon Ball and became Z. There's Garlic Jr. He's the little guy who's actually has some lore background into the series, but he's kind of a little shitty threat on his own, and he's a little bitch, but then he goes really big and actually becomes a really commanding threat, until he gets his one weakness exploited and defeated.
You know what? I don't remember much about the Girl Judo Saga, so I will take your word for it.
The only difference is he didn't bring out the only thing that could defeat him, which was the dead zone.
Alright, so going into who plays these characters real quick. Playing King Goma, we have Tom Laughlin. For Degatsu, we have Brandon McDonald. For Dr. Aritsu, we have Morgan Le Ray. For Majin Ku, we have Gerard Castor. For Majin Du, we have Aaron Campbell. And for Marba, we have Lori Staley. Tom Laughlin has played such characters as Arka Fukugawa in Lovely Complex, Shugo Hojizawa in Any Way I'm Falling in Love with You, and Anubis in Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. Leonard McDonald has played such characters as Soshiro Hoshida in Kaisen Number 8, Noritoshi Kabo in Jujutsu Kaisen, and Rappo Edagawa in Bungo Stray Dogs. Morgan Le Ray has played such characters as Naki Kirima in Boogie Pop and Others, Castro in Death Parade, and Akiramado in Tokyo Ghoul. Gerard Castor has played such characters as Haru Hayate in Blue Lock Season 2, Yu Takadashi in Amiku AD, Dr. Detective, and Richard Andrews in Raid of the Seven Spellblades. Aaron Campbell has played such characters as Gideon in Banished from the Heroes Party, Taichi Narita in Geki Shoujo, and Gauma in SSSS Zenon. And lastly, Lori Sealy has played such characters as Alvin in One Piece, Mariko Natsuki in Witchblade, and the original Krillin in OG Dragon Ball.
I think that's the cool, like, kind of connected to, like, the other section we're going to talk about. I think it is unbelievably cool that, like, Jonathan got the OG Krillin actress to play a major character in Daima. I think that's an inspired choice in particular.
With a performance that was fundamentally different from young Krillin.
It's like, you didn't have to do that, but I think it was an inspired choice to do that. I think that was really
I have
cool.
to wonder, I need to look this up, if it was like, in the Japanese they got like Mayumi Tanaka to play Marba.
I'm gonna say probably not, because I feel like we would have heard about Mayumi Tanaka playing a new character.
I don't remember who it was either, but I do. But I guess you might as well start with Lori first. I like George Marba, but not just a really good slightly creepy old lady who's just somehow apparently responsible for half the stuff that happened in Dragon Ball Z.
You know what? Good for her. Good for her. She's just doing her best. She's just like, she's kind of like Majin Baba, basically, is kind of like her role in the series. But, like, Laura does a good, job playing, this old lady, this magic woman who's just kind of I'm just kind of here. Whatever. Yeah, do what you gotta do.
So, I'll do whatever you want as long as you pay me.
Pretty much, which, you know what? Good for her. Good for her. You get that dough.
Oh, sorry. I do also appreciate that the also just shows up at the very end who give King Goma and Negatsu their just very comedic punishment.
It's the fucking Mafuba! It's the evil containment wave! I'm like, holy shit, what do you mean you just had that? There are, people who are, lore heads that are, kind of losing their fucking minds at some of this, and Toriyama's just like, are you gonna explain that? No.
It's like Pedro Pascal and Nicolas Cage in the car.
Basically. But no, I really do like Laura's performance as Marpa. I think she's definitely an interesting, fun side character addition to the squad.
Also, to answer that question I just posed, no, it was not Mayumi Tanaka.
I was gonna say, I feel like they would have announced if Mayumi Tanaka was a new character. They announced Mayumi Tanaka was the fucking, was Turbo Grammy in Don, which was also inspired casting too.
Yeah, indeed.
Jet, how proud are you that you got to witness the moment live that you were right about Barbara Goodson being Turbo Granny?
Oh, I was so happy, like, that, yeah, I yelled in the theater when it happened, and much of people apparently heard me.
Good shit. But yeah, I liked Barba.
I'm debating, should we talk about Ku and Do together?
They are buds. They are bros. I think they're basically like they're a comedy ragtag duo of goobers.
That's yeah. I feel like I'll talk about this more when we get to R2, but like, in essence, they go from being her like weird henchmen to basically just being her two adopted kids, and I think that's beautiful.
It's like, I also love the fact that it's like we go from Majin B to Majin C and Majin D.
You know what?
Like, it's literally Majin B, C, and D. Like, they spell K with a Ku with a K, but it's supposed to be like kind of like C-U Ku.
Oh, yeah, that is pretty fun.
So, I kind of like the fact that Gerard Castor, like, I wasn't sure what to expect from Ku at first, where he's just kind of like, he basically realizes after a while, oh, I have brains, I have intelligence. So, like, he gets a fight with, like, one of the Tamagami, and kind of realizes midway through, yeah, I think I'm fucked.
Man, that moment was so great.
He
He puts up a little fight. He's not weak, but he's basically like, yeah, I'm gonna get cooked.
Yeah, it's amazing because you see him, he gets this little dramatic introduction, and you're like, oh, okay, like, he's probably gonna end up being like the endgame boss for the show or something, and it's just like immediately.
I think, like, especially the fact that he kind of like is reminiscent to Kid Buu, like pure Buu in size. He looks like that. So your assumption is he's gonna be as threatening. He's going to be the big bad, and then he's like,
kinda?
yeah, I'm out. Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
He is perhaps by default the smartest person in this show, in the sense that he knows when he's licked and knows when to walk away.
Yes.
That is something most people in Dragon Ball don't know how to do, is to walk away when the chips are down or when they're outclassed.
He has the most valuable commodity in all of Dragon Ball world. Good sense.
He has the Joseph Joestar family trait. He knows how to run away.
That's yeah, he's good. Yeah, he knows how to run, and I also do appreciate that. Like, I also appreciate that's how much of his character is him just like really, just trying really hard to win up to Haruto's approval.
It's beautiful.
I also really got a shout out because I really do like Gerard's performance as like this little guy who's doing his best and basically just is the goodest boy by show's end.
Yeah, I appreciate that for all accounts. He basically just becomes the actual hero of the story.
Just literally throws the book at a corrupt king and saves the demon realm.
I was so happy for him by the end. It's like,
yeah,
good for you.
Just, you had so much against you, and then I was like, fuck it. I'm on team Ku. Oh my god!
Yes?
They threw a coup at the Demon King.
God damn it. God damn it.
Motherfucker!
I don't know why it took me this long to think of name puns, as though Akira Toriyama does not run on name puns. As though they haven't been
from the grave!
He's ever made.
From the grave, that motherfucker's still getting us. Actually, the best to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
And But also, like, I really do like Gerard's kind of like smarmy, know-it-all, but genuinely good boy performance. What the fuck, Aaron Campbell?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's delightful.
I didn't know he could fucking do that!
I think a lot of our experience with Dub Talk is... I didn't know he knew how to do that.
Okay, half of a Dub Talk podcast episode is just the Shaq quote of, "I apologize, I wasn't familiar with your game."
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing with Aaron Campbell. I didn't know you could fucking do a kinda pitch-perfect, like, Majin Buu-esque role. I want Shaq! Wait, you know what it is?
Yeah.
It's Majin Buu Eric Cartman. That's Aaron Campbell's due.
You know what?
We need to make a counter. We need to make a counter for all the cursed but correct things that we say in this episode. This is getting out of hand.
Look! If you there think I have any pleasure in being right, you are correct. I take immense pleasure in it. It makes me very happy to hear my friends suffer.
But yeah, Aaron Campbell's due is a real delight. That's like a really good job at sounding like a total goofball who's totally in it for the chocolate, and and I really do. Yeah, and I really do appreciate the joke of like, yeah, he's the one who got all the strength, but he's just a simple little guy.
He just wants a cookie.
I just love the Abbott and Costello Bulk and Skull kind of dynamic between Ku and Do.
It did occur to me while we were talking about it, it's like, wait, this is the taller, skinnier one and the shorter, fatter one duo, isn't it?
Not every joke hits, but you can tell that they try, even if they think it might hit or it might miss. Like the fucking gendarme force guys just being like diet Ginus, like fuck, I don't give a shit about those guys. That bit was like too long and too repetitive. Theirs I was like, whatever.
I don't know what you're talking about, Andrew. I thought it was funny because it went on for far too long. It was far too obvious, which makes it all the funnier when they get jobbed immediately.
So, yeah, I mean, I do agree with Andrew once a bit that maybe went on a bit too long, but I need to think I appreciate about the book. So I didn't even necessarily that they get jobbed immediately, but that they're just like extremely chill about being jobbed. It's just kind of like, oh, you rascal, you got us. I don't know, do you want to talk about Degisu or Dr. Arzu first?
I think we could kind of talk about them both together, because they are siblings, and I think they are interesting in the roles they present, both as, like, learning more about the Glins, which we now know the Kais are called Glins, as well as knowing, technically, Glins don't have genders, which I think is one of those insane little details of just, you didn't have to throw that in there. That's pretty crazy you just threw that in there.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a very interesting little addition there. But Landon McDonald's Zekisu is he does a pretty good job of just kind of fading like a swarming little yes man. Just very clearly doing his best to suck up the Goma at all times, even when it's very clear that Goma doesn't always know what he's doing.
Goma's just a weird little bitch, and I feel like Degisu is kind of the opportunistic vice chancellor, like the diabolical scheming eunuch. That's effectively what Degisu is.
Yeah.
Correct.
I didn't think of it that way, but yeah.
He's like, yes, my lord, anything for you, my lord. That's perfect. That's genius! You're so smart! You're so genius! I will kill a baby to pursue my ambitions. What? Don't worry about it. Anyways, it's
Dagger
all good.
behind my back? What
It's all
dagger behind my
Daijobu
back?
des!
Don't worry about it.
What murder?
Yeah.
What murder?
Yeah, to which it's very funny you brought up the baby thing, because it is very funny. Like, Degisu wanted to kill a baby. Can't go over, like, oh no, we can't kill this baby, he'll be useful later.
Yep.
Like Dende is a major part of this story, which shout out to Emmy Lowe playing baby Dende, by the way. But, like, their plan was, okay, let's have another Namekian that we can make more Dragon Balls. What's our plan? I don't know. Make sure you read right! Otherwise he won't grow up big and strong.
That was so perfect. But yeah, I do like Landon just as, just really funny, yes, man. I really do like him the bits he gets, like I didn't get her run up in the chat before when he's just kind of like, oh, why do I have to pull the big lever?
He's Kronk. He gets to play the role of Kronk when in actuality his heart of hearts wants him to be Jafar.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's just not smart enough for that.
He's like, what do? I have to, don't come any closer, otherwise I will shoot this baby. I don't think he thought his plan through that far.
Nope.
As an aside, I realized his plan was actually hiring that Sarah Wiedenheft girl to take the belt for himself, but he left too soon and didn't give her any instructions on how to deliver the belt. So she just walks into Goma's palace room and is like, so hey, Degisu hired me to give somebody this. I don't know. Do you want it? So he basically is a greedy dumbass of his own creation. Where it's like he could have had a winning plan. He just got too hasty and trigger happy.
Typical.
Yep. Yeah, and then in contrast, you have Dr. R2, who just has, like, basically a billion plans going on at once.
I feel like one of the things that suffers the most for the lack of runtime is R2 is somebody I genuinely want to understand more of their deal, because it's like they're kind of a scheming villain, but they also seem like they got a lot more things going on for themselves, where it's like, if Degisu is a dick, it's that Arnsu is a dick, but not 100% an asshole.
It's funny you say you don't think you got enough of Dr. Arnsu, to which I don't entirely disagree, but I think her arc over this course of this show worked. Because in essence, he kind of goes from being like a conniving schemer to, in essence, basically becoming a single parent.
Look, sometimes you try to take over the world, sometimes you accidentally adopt a bunch of neighborhood cats, and sometimes one of those cats becomes the king of the world. Morgan O'Reilly is just currently having a lot of fun just playing the schemer, just constantly trying to come up with all these plans, I'll have them get into Dragon Balls for me. Also, I'll make these Majin in case that doesn't work out. And it's like, I could become king, but if I do that, I'll get ousted immediately. So I'm just going to
love how Degisu has the means to carry out his plans, but he's an absolute moron about it. But on the flip side, Aransu
is too smart.
Aransu has the intelligence to conceive a brilliant scheme to take over the demon world, but she does not have the proper means to implement it.
I do like the fact that they are kind of like, they have different ambitions, but are kind of dumb in different ways. Like, this is a this is a sometimes dramatic story, but Dragon Ball Daima at its heart is kind of a comedy of errors.
Yeah.
Like, it legitimately is a comedy of errors at almost every single turn.
To which you just reminded me of something I forgot about. You know how when Majin Buu was first born and he had this whole thing where it kind of goes like the cha,
yeah.
Apparently I learned that was actually a thing ripped from Alari from Dr. Slump, because that's her catchphrase.
Of course.
Of fucking course it was.
Of course it is.
Of course it was. My god, of course it was.
It's turtles all the way down.
It truly is the best to ever do. He's truly the best to ever Majin do it.
I read an anecdote once where one of the a guy named Jason Thompson, he used to edit for Viz. He used to write a column for ANN Network, Anime News Network, about manga, and he related a story where Toriyama was a guest at whatever version of Anime Con New York was trying to do at the time. And he was like chatting with him, and he mentioned, I like Dragon Ball. It's like, oh, have you read Dr. Slump? And he was like, no, I haven't read that one yet. And like Toriyama just sort of looked visibly disappointed that no one in America has read Dr. Slump. I'm sure he likes Dragon Ball, but I feel like in his heart, Dr. Slump is the most Toriyama of shows because it's really silly and the continuity doesn't matter.
It's kind of like the same vibe of like, how do I put this? I'm trying to think of an example. It's kind of like running into Patrick Seitz. I confused Patrick Stewart for Patrick Seitz, goddammit. It's like running into Patrick Seitz at a con where it's like, oh hey, are you a big fan of Frankie? You big fan of Dio? It's like, I really liked your work on Monster. And you see, like, the near tear in his eye where he remembers that somebody has seen Monster and he just kind of, like, enters a state of nirvana It's kind of like, that's kind of like Toriyama's relationship with, like, somebody knowing Dr. Slump compared to Dragon Ball. Which I guess, speaking of Patrick Seitz, is it time to talk about the fact that King Goma literally steals Jiren's body for the back half?
Yeah, that's great. Basically, what if it were Pilaf was Jiren?
Beautiful.
So, Tom Laughlin is a comedic fucking genius as Goma. He is this shitty, petty, little insecure, Napoleonic complex fuck. He's perfect. He's a little shithead. He doesn't understand what's going on. He's just watching his Magic Time DVR, and he's going, oh shit, what do I do? Oh god, what do I do? Wait, can that work? Holy shit, that can work! Oh my god, it worked! Everything's going according to plan! Oh my god, the plan's falling apart! What the fuck do I do? What the fuck do I do? What the fuck do I... Hey, is that the thing I need? Holy shit, that's the thing I needed! Oh my god! I'm immortal! I'm gonna live forever! Oh fuck. It's just watching this little shit imp, and Tom plays it with such this smarmy, maniacal, like, goofy Saturday morning cartoon villain energy in, like, the right ways. It's
beautiful.
So inspired.
Like I said, there was a reason I said he's more like an early Dragon Ball villain than an early Dragon Ball Z villain. Because Dragon Ball Z villains are usually like, oh, you know, really, are all about, oh, I have all this power, so I'm going to use it to be, like, either it's theoretical or it's possible, or just kind of use my power to do whatever I want, because, like, who's going to stop me? And then, like, the Dragon Ball villains are just usually just goofy little guys. Just goofy, just very goofy little guys who just have, like, really weird and extremely petty ambitions. Like never forget the leader of the Red Ribbon Army. Like literally wanted Dragon Ball.
The more you talked about this, the more I realized it's like, man, he is really he's really Red Ribbon Army guy, isn't he? Like that's like, the point of comparison for who he is.
It really is kind of amazing that like the little pathetic gremlin guy in like a bunch of Dragon Ball villain arcs kind of transforms into the big enough bad that, like, actually puts up a fight. It actually puts up, like, a pretty incredible fight. Like, he plays the goofy little shit goblin, but, like, he's also pretty commanding and intimidating when he does become the big dick villain that actually can kick some shit in.
Yeah.
Which I do like the fact that it's like, okay, you actually have to think a little more than just being really strong and beating him. There is a way to stop him. He basically has, like, an invincibility spear, but you have to disarm the invincibility thing. You can't just punch him till he dies. That's why I like the fact that it's like, even with all the cool fuck-all powers and like, oh my god, that was such a cool fight. Those last couple episodes, that was genuinely incredible fucking sequence of fights. I also like the fact that it's like, yeah, he's not going down 1v1, guys. We gotta bum rush him. And I'm like, yeah, these people are talking sense.
I do appreciate moments like, oh man, like Goku's talking about fighting all together. This must be serious.
It's like, oh shit, for real. But like, Goma is such a, like, it's kind of wild that he is the Dragon Ball villain, but he is also the big Dragon Ball Z GT super villain all at once. And Tom sounds noticeably different when he does get the third eye in him. And, like, he does sound really tough and gruff and intimidating. And he can shout and scream with, like, the best people in the industry, while also being a goofy fucking Saturday morning cartoon villain at the same time. Genuinely, Tom Laughlin, fucking unbelievable character actor. My god.
The performance is really fun. And also just, like, man, I also do appreciate that, like, a lot of the, again, Dragon Ball lore is kind of whatever. But I do appreciate that this kind of, like, those last few episodes just do kind of in a way, redeem, I wouldn't say redeem Deborah, but it does kind of make him, like, slightly more interesting in a way than he was in original Dragon Ball Z, where he just got taken out in, like, 5 minutes. Because it is just kind of hard to just sit there and think, like, man, what if it was Deborah with the third eye?
Yeah.
He basically was like, oh, I gotta take out my dad. Ah, shit, we lost the third eye. Oh, well, I can still beat my dad now. And then he got 8. Which, look, we talk a lot of shit about Dragon Ball Z filler. I do think one of the funniest concepts for Dragon Ball Z filler was Yema going, I'm not sending Deborah to hell. He's gonna like it too much. I'm gonna send him to heaven. So, like, there's filler arcs where, like, Deborah is hanging out with, like, the Dead Wives Club of the Dragon Ball Z girls and getting a lot more in touch with his sensitive feminine side. And it's a good bit, actually.
That's great.
Like, everybody's talking about, like, them getting their driver's license. Nobody talks about, like, good, sensitive wife guy Deborah.
Beautiful.
Which, as an aside, was that the... I did get to check the credits. Was that the original actor of Deborah?
I didn't check either, but I imagine
I'm going to check now, too, because I don't remember his name off the top of my head. It did sound like it could have been.
Yeah, it did sound familiar, so, like, I'm assuming so, but I'm not totally.
Alright, we'll double check. But I did like the Deborah lore they added.
I think Deborah's actor is still active in the Dallas scene.
Anyways, but yeah, Tom Laughlin is just an incredible character actor, while simultaneously managing to shonen scream alongside the literal titans of the industry. Like,
anything you want to add, Amon?
He's so funny. He's just a perfect little, like, awful, tiny Dragon Ball villain. Just, like, really petty, really venal. Doesn't really know what he's doing because no one in Dragon Ball is very smart at the end of the day. Except Majin Buu. My second favorite part of the ending was him asking, like, does anyone else want to be a minister? And, like, Hybish is going, like, I do. And he's like, anyone else? No? Alright, great. Here's my cabinet. See, that's how you know he's intelligent. He knows hiring Hybish is a fool's errand.
just a good bit. Just a good bit all around.
Good joke. Good joke.
But yeah, legit, Tom Laughlin is like incredible character actor that was the perfect fit for Goma. Did exactly what that character needed, start to finish. Mm-hmm. Is a funny little guy, is an intimidating little guy when he actually has to kick some shit in, but he's just a ton of fun every time he's on screen. Absolute scene stealer, absolute comedy gold. And also now he's living his purgatory playing video games. Good for him.
I do just appreciate the way they sold that punch. It's like, oh, you're gonna have to spend 100 years in this dungeon. Like, what? He's like, no, please. Like, look, I didn't really hurt anyone. I didn't even hurt the baby. And Pickle's like, oh yeah, you know what? Sure, we'll just make.
100 years is a bit too much. 99 should do it. I was like, that's pretty good.
And I guess with that, we're going to move on to our last session of the evening with our main cast.
Yep.
So we've got Mini Goku, Mini Supreme Kai, Glorio, and Pansy. Pansy is the daughter of King Kadad, who ends up befriending Goku and the others, and lends them her expertise with machines. Glorio is a mysterious mercenary who enlists Goku to help fight King Goma, but is secretly working with Dr. Arinsu. The Supreme Kai is the head of Goku's universe and one of the remaining Glins. Though for the purposes of this show, he's basically just here to be Goku's straight man. And Goku, I mean, it's Goku.
It is Goku.
I mean, you know the drill. Sane warrior. Set raises the baby in the mountains. All that jazz.
Let's put it like this: not every Goku is written equal. Some Gokus are written a little not great. This Goku, quintessential Goku. He's got the power pull. He's goofy, but he also can be serious when the situation calls for it. He's good Goku. He's a good goofy little guy, and not like a deadbeat dad, and like some other versions of Goku we can name. Mm-hmm.
Can you tell some of us here are particularly big on some of Super?
Super is interesting in that it is some of the. It's got fun things about the Dragon Ball universe, but it's also got some of the most absurd flanderizations of some of these characters. Yeah. Hey, Vegeta! What's that thing he's doing with his lips? Kissing? Ah, weird. I never did that with Chi-Chi. It's like, Goku, you have 2 children. How?
That joke was so stupid. Yes, it's in character, but that still doesn't make the joke any less.
There's some that are like a little absurd, even.
It is a joke that works best as a like post chapter 4 coma that you don't have to treat as canon if you don't want to.
Yes.
Which would be great if that was what it was.
The problem is this was 60-ish episodes into Dragon Ball Super, the long-anticipated sequel to Dragon Ball Z people have been waiting decades for.
Precisely.
This was also in probably like one of the stranger arcs of Dragon Ball Super, which yeah.
The one where they very nearly made Goku the villain.
God, we don't have time to talk about Superman. Look, Amon, I have to ask. Do you know about Don't Shoot? Do you know about Don't Shoot?
No, I remember that making the rounds on Twitter when it happened. I remember. I didn't have any context for it, but I remember. Yeah, I remember.
Okay, you do know the $1 million line? Don't shoot. That man is not black.
I love localization.
No, that's the real line. They couldn't even change it. Context-wise, it was.
That's why I love localization. Sometimes you just get handed just a real dunder bomb of a line, and you can't do shit about it. It's just there.
You know, Eric Vale went into the booth that day, and he was like, "Oh, fucking right, let's do this."
They're all just looking at it. It's like, is this really the line? It's like, it's what we got, buddy. It's what we got, man. It's like, all right. Woo.
Anyways, this is our way to say Mini Goku is not Super Goku. He's not GT Goku, but he's not Super Goku.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And going into who plays these characters, playing Pansy, we have Veronica Lux. Playing Gloria, we have Aaron Dismuke. Playing Mini Supreme Kai, we have Nia Celeste. And playing Mini Goku, we have reprising Goku for the first time in, like, over a decade.
15 years!
One Stephanie Nadolini.
Alrighty.
So, going over... So very quickly, Veronica Lux has played such characters as Surrey in the Apothecary Diaries, Yori Shinya in the Classroom of the Elite, and Teru Ujiyama, aka Shy and Shy. Aaron Dismuke has played such characters as Alphonse Elric in Fullmetal Alchemist 2003, Red Hat von Lowengram in Legend of Galactic Heroes to Teze, and Seku Ishigami in Dr. Stone. And Nia Celeste has played such characters as Lulu in Deathbound Death Parade, Kabato Kachima in Failure Frame, and Uru in The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. And as for Stephanie Nadolini, like, literally all of her credits are just, like, really Funimation stuff. So, shout outs to all 10 people who know, Captain Phase-In Lou from Gravion Zwei, and Sophia Fullerton from Loop on the Third, Missed by a Dollar. Like, those are the only other notable credits.
Okay, look, if you want something else, she was one of the voices of KO in OK KO, Let's Be Heroes.
Mm-hmm. But beyond that, of course, Gohan and Dragon Ball Z, and, like we said before, OG Goku and Dragon Ball.
So, I will say this. I think I stand with the opinion that for... Okay. So, this might surprise you to know that there have been conversations where OG Dragon Ball Z dub fans have strong opinions. Shocker, I know. I think with the original DBZ dub and the DBZ Kai redub, I have a point of comparison for both Stephanie Natalie as Goku and Kid Gohan, and Colleen Klinkenbeard as Goku and Kid Gohan. I think my opinion of that is I think Colleen is the better Gohan. I think Stephanie is the better Goku.
Oh,
Yeah.
100% I agree with you.
I think Stephanie doesn't quite get across like what works for Gohan, but I think absolutely gets what works for Goku. which is why I do think this is a very welcome reprisal. It takes her a second or two to kind of get back in the saddle, because, like, legit, she has not played Goku in, like, 15 years. But, like, by the end of the show, she's fucking doing it. She's got all the gags down, she's got all the silly bits down, and also she's got the real big fuck you fight screams down pat, too. Like, even getting to do, like, the vocal growl, doing the Super Saiyan 3 and the, I can't fucking believe I'm saying this. The Super Saiyan 4.
Yep.
I can't fucking believe I'm saying in 2025 they did the Super Saiyan 4.
Which I don't think she actually got to do in GT, because when they got to Super Saiyan 4...
No! It was all Sean. It was all Sean Schemmel, because Super Saiyan 4 Goku re-aged Goku again for plot... Don't fucking worry about it. Anyways. But it's a better version of it, because it gives Goku red fur, red hair, and red fur. People like the red hair, red fur, monkey look. But it gives him his pants. It doesn't give him the ugly 90s yellow pants. He's just got his normal pants. And also he's got giant monkey grippers?
Yeah, that's great. I do appreciate that he kind of made this one look more ape-like.
I like the fact that it's like, it's a slight improvement on an old design, but it fixes it in ways that actually does make it look better.
Yeah.
And it's surprising. It's a nice little touch. And fuck it. Fuck it. Most of this show is gags. Most of the show is goofs. Most of the show is the goofiest, silliest side of Toriyama's shit. Guys, I'm not made out of fucking stone, man. I'm not made out of stone, man. That final episode fight was fucking sick. It was so sick.
Yeah, it was very cool, though. I mean, though, if you do want to point out something goofy, I do appreciate the final part side of Goku being like, I kind of knew I could do that the entire time.
That is a quintessential Goku moment. It's like, and Vegeta's so mad, it's like, what? What are you so mad about? You learned how to do Super Saiyan 3, right? And then Vegeta's like, no, that's not Super Saiyan 3, that's something new! That's something only I can do! It's Ultra Vegeta 1! And I'm like, that's...
Perfect writing.
Oh. It's so goofy, it's so absurd, but also it's quintessential fuck you, Dragon Ball goodness.
Stephanie, real good job swimming back into the role of Kid Goku. Does a pretty good job of just reminding you of how much of a simple little guy Goku can be.
He's a simple, good little monkey boy, and I do love him, and he's a good lad, and yeah, no, Stephanie does really kind of step back into the role after a good while, almost kind of effortlessly, and I'm kind of impressed by that.
And just some really good comedic line deliveries, like really good with all the poop jokes. Basically just everything just regarding Goku trying to wrap his head around how the demon realm works. It's fun. I think one of my favorite little bits is when Dave is getting ready to give an explanation about the whole history of the Mechis, and Goku's like, nah, I'm good, let's get that.
Such a schmarmy asshole Goku thing to be like, do you want to hear this stuff? Nah.
Yep. And also just a very Goku thing of, maybe we should wait for the other before we get the first real go after the first Dragon Ball. Goku's like, nah, they can get it right themselves.
Yeah. I like the fact that, like, him and, like, Vegeta's so, like, rightfully pissed, where it's like, the fucking audacity of you, bitch.
Yeah, especially when after all that, like, the second Goku and the others lose their ride, he just goes to Vegeta.
Hey, can we...
Hey, can I...
It's kind of surprising how much of the conflict of Dragon Ball Daima is effectively a game of Grand Theft Auto.
People keep stealing their cars, their planes. It's so good.
Which, as an aside, this is not connected to Super. The Gendarmerie are all Beerus's race, right? Like, that's exactly what they're going for, right?
I assume so. Like, they don't make any reference.
They don't make any reference to Beerus because technically Super doesn't exist, maybe, but also they showed all the different Universal Kais that are in Dragon Ball. Oh, so okay.
Yeah, I mean, I basically joked about it in one of my reviews that it just felt like this show just kind of took Super's continuity over its knee and just broke
it took Toriyama and company took what they wanted to, but also didn't worry about if this was going to be connected to anything or had to be connected. It took what it wanted to, and then it took its homework and left.
Yeah, to which I think the funniest break in continuity isn't even necessarily Super. It's not just basically just kind of ensures GT can never happen. I mean, like, you could argue that Super kind of ensured that, but, like, I wouldn't say it was 100% guaranteed. Like, you could still kind of argue that maybe GT could happen after Super. But with this, it's like, nah.
Like, legitimately, he gets Super Saiyan. Okay, you know what I'm gonna say? I'm less shocked that Goku turned into a modernized Super Saiyan 4. I'm more shocked they called it verbatim Super Saiyan 4. I thought they were gonna say, is that a new form? Or, wow, that was interesting. Goku calls it Super Saiyan 4, and I think I did a spit take. I'm like, oh, you're just fucking saying it! Wow, okay.
To which, again, we aren't really talking about him here, but a quick shout out to Sean Schimmel for just getting to do, and now to go even further.
Okay, no, that is not only just Goku, that is Jared Green. Fucking hats off to you, Jared Green, for writing in and now to go even further beyond. That was inspired. I think I was like, are you fucking for real? You just said you did the thing! You did the thing! Oh, God, I feel like such a fanboy right now. Look! I'm only human, okay? Fuck it. Sean Schemmel's good at this and has been for years. Even in 2 episodes, he still got to do a real good, angry, guttural Super Saiyan Kamehameha. And it was pretty fucking baller.
Yeah.
It was so sick! It was so sick! It literally united all of the demon worlds! Fucking... Oh, God, I sound like such a fanboy right now. Somebody else take the reins.
Sure. Nia Solis is a Supreme Kai. Definitely very interesting. I felt like this was probably... I would say that all of the mini versions, this was probably the one that sounded the least like the original performance, but I still thought it was
I think that is kind of to Nia's credit, is that... Shit... Okay, how do I put this? Nia, they're not just playing Supreme Kai, they're playing Nahare, which Nahare is effectively made to be a new character. Like, it is an old character, but Nahare, more than the rest of them, gets to be a new character. Like, they're expository, but, like, not, like, Nia gets to actually play them as, like, a new character all their own, which is, you know what, that's fair, that's fun, and actually, like, Nia does a really charming job balancing off with Goku and, like, the other members of the crew.
Yeah, I guess to be fair, like, if you're discounting Super, like, we didn't have too much to work off with the Supreme Kai before, so I guess it is kind of easy to make a new version of that
Like,
works.
the most Super did was basically make him connected to Beerus. That's really all it did, is that he became part of Beerus, which... This makes Shin a lot more of his own character, because they're tree people, they're gender non-conforming, they're just a little guy. They're also like, okay, they have to think on their feet, and they're kind of doing their best. I also like the fact that there's difficulties being, like, a top-tier demon in the lower-tier realms, and there's some racial tensions there. And, like, why did all the Kais leave, and what's going on there? And it's interesting. It actually is pretty interesting. Nia does a good job with exposition, but also being a pretty fun character that gets to deal with Goku's shenanigans and bullshit.
And I mean, to the credit of basically what we are presented, Supreme Kai in Z is very deadpan.
Very.
So Nia Celeste being able to get in there and give Shin a little bit of personality, it's nice. It's refreshing.
It's good stuff. I really like what I've heard of Nia in recent, like, anime dub performances, and I really hope this helps pave the way for them getting more and more stuff, because I really liked their take on Shin Nahare Supreme Kai.
Really charming performance. Again, just really good job playing the straight man to Goku's antics. Like having to put him in his hygiene, or just trying to keep him from doing something stupid. Like, I especially appreciate the bit when they're first heading to David. I was like, look, Goku, under no circumstances did you cause or warp a goldfish. And Goku just keeps stepping in.
Goku, like, literally, Shin is doing their best to make sure Goku does not call anybody a racial epithet. Trying and failing. Bless their heart.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, you know, like, I really like Nia. You know who's probably my favorite performance of this group? And one I'm really happy to see them in, like, a big role? I really like Veronica Locks as Pansy a lot. I think this is a really stellar, very fun performance. Because she's both the Tinkerer and also kind of like the mob princess with an attitude. And that's a real fun combination of shit.
Yeah, I liked
Hmm.
Veronica in the role. I just wish there was a little bit more to the role in the show.
Okay, see, I think that's fair. I think Pansy at least gets enough of her role to kind of work for, like, what the show needs. I'd argue I have less of a problem with that for Pansy, and much more of a problem for that with Glorio. Because if there's anybody I actually feel got, like, their storyline cut, it was Glorio. I wanted to see what's Glorio's story with Aransu, because he's loyal to Aransu. He's basically the double agent for Aransu. He implies Aransu saved your life from a really bad situation. And you're still grateful for that, but you still had to side with Goku and his friends. That's interesting. I would have loved to have seen a little more fucking anything of that. I think that's my actual biggest letdown, is I wanted to get more of Glorio's deal. Because he's interesting. They make him interesting and fun. He kind of got nothing.
So, but I do kind of agree. It did feel like they shortchanged Gloria quite a bit. You do get a pretty deep, you do get some decent implications of what his life was like like very girly and spoke. Like the implications, it's probably supposed to be that Dr. R2 like helped, I guess, lift him out of poverty in a sense, and that's why he's loyal. But yeah, it would have been nice to just see that rather than be told.
I think Pansy, at least you get enough of her background, her situation, and you're like, oh, she's a mob princess that's effectively living with her dad, who's a cheap ass and basically steals and grabs all his shit and basically makes things. He basically keeping this castle together with duct tape and a prayer, which that actually explains a lot why Pansy is a tinkerer of mechanics and shit, because of the circumstances of, yeah, they got nothing and they're just tinkering and just slapping shit together. I believe why Pansy is a tinkerer and kind of is a weird little mobster girl with an attitude. I got just enough of her. I got not enough of Gloria. That's where I think I stand on that.
Yeah, to which in essence, I mean, they didn't mention it earlier, but in essence, Pansy is just kind of here to be Bulma 2.0, which, there are worse things for a character to be.
And you know what? It is fun seeing her and Bulma get to be friends and hanging out with each other and geeking out while stepping all over poor Hybis. They're just using him as a stool.
Veronica's a lot of fun. I let him performance as Pansy. Character just has a lot of spunk. It's just really like how well she bounces off a lot of the other characters. And while we don't get too much laugh out loud comedy with her, we do get some pretty good bits. Like when she first joins the group and they're going on their first plane and then immediately crashes. And everyone's like, wait, what happened? And Paige's like, oh, well, we might have overstuffed things a bit too much, but, I only brought the bare accessories and then just immediately cuts through all this extra jokes.
I think she is a good comedic road trip partner. I think she's a good complementary character to Goku and Shin. She's not quite the straight-laced Shin, or the deadpan Glorio. She's somewhere in between Goku and Shin, and I think that's a good balance for her in the role of them being the chaotic idiot traveling squad.
Yeah.
She has just enough personality, spunk, and charm to her, and I think so much of that just comes across in Veronica's performance as well, as you're a weird kid, Goku, but also being his biggest cheerleader by the end. I think she's a lot of fun. I think she's a very welcome addition to this. And to his credit, I do really like Glorio too. I think my biggest one is, wait, has Aaron Dismuke not been a main Dragon Ball character yet?
It really is surreal to think about, given how long that man's been working over in the Dallas.
That's pretty crazy. He must have been a guy at least, but that's crazy.
I just think that it's very inspired and funny that in this show where most of the characters have either been turned into children or are children, the most prominent adult character is played by maybe anime dubbing's most famous child actor.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I
that's
didn't even think of that.
But that's funny to me.
Probably not, but that is pretty funny, yeah.
Good bit.
Yeah, and it is very funny you say it like that, because a lot of his role in the early parts of the show is just kind of very clearly trying to corral all these children.
how the tables have turned.
I like the fact that he's probably not even an adult. Just by age luck, he's probably 200 something. He seems like an early 20s, which in Demon World probably means he's 220.
Wow, holy shit.
Yeah, he's not that old. He's just old compared to the people he's stuck hanging out with.
Exactly.
So,
they basically say demons are thousands of years old. Yeah.
So I took a look back, and the only really major part Aaron Dismuke has ever played in the Dragon Ball franchise, from the looks of it, is the main character of the last original Dragon Ball Z movies, who gives Trunks his sword.
Wait. What? That's... No. No, wait, what? Aaron, what? Hold up. He's not Tapion. He's not Tapion.
He's Tavion's brother.
Okay.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, Tapion, I remember very clearly, was Ernesto Jason Lebrecq. Okay, he's the younger brother that gets killed. Right. Oh, wow.
I'll add to it. Okay, so wow, Aaron Dismuke just really has not had a lot of
He played that, and according to Wikipedia, he plays a one-episode character in Super, and that's it.
Like, not even in the games
Gloria.
from the looks of it.
Not even the games. That's the crazy part. Fucking wild, man. But no, legit good for him, because he is good as Glorio. I do like him as Glorio. I like him as he kind of is just like, I'm surrounded by children. I'm doing my best. I don't care. But, like, he's fun, and he does the good Dragon Ball stuff. He gets a good fight or two with Goku. I just wish his character had more anything. Which is a shame, because he was set up to be interesting. I just feel like he got his episodes cut specifically because we needed to make this final fight look sick as shit.
Yeah, personally,
which is disappointing.
I kind of wish he got to do a little bit of the Han Solo thing a little more, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's basically what he is.
He does look like Han Solo, doesn't he? I didn't put that together until now, huh?
Yep. But no, I do like this squad of characters. Like, Aaron Dismuke is no stranger to this show, but definitely need to give my flowers, especially to Nia Celeste and Veronica Locks for booking something as majorly prolific as a new Dragon Ball anime, and doing an incredible job and standing around, like, major titans of the industry, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially impressed by, like, Nia and Veronica. And yeah, Aaron Dismuke just really good at being Aaron Dismuke. And yeah, this is our first time talking about Stephanie Natalie. Took her a bit, but fuck it. She's still really good doing the Kid Goku voice. And it was an inspired casting call to get Stephanie Natalie back as Kid Goku. I'll give Jonathan and company back credit there. That actually was a pretty smart call.
Yeah, that was a smart call, to which, to which, and it is kind of annoying to acknowledge it, to have to acknowledge it, but like, man, I really do hate that casting decision.
Okay, I was debating on bringing it up, but I also was like, man, this actually would have been a big fucking shock if some internet clout chaser wasn't like, Stephanie Natalie's coming back for Dragon Ball Daima's dub, and I'm like, okay, go fuck yourself, guy.
I stalked the Crunchyroll parking lot and saw her go into the building. It must be her.
Oh god, I'd forgotten all about that. That was so weird. God, some people.
Some fucking people.
Get a second hobby, dude.
Anyways, we won't name names any particularly. Fuck you, Geekdom 101. Oh, sorry. I didn't say usernames. Anyways, but yeah, legit. Like, all snark aside, inspired choice to get Stephanie back, and I really do like the new and the old coalescing together for what is Toriyama's final hurrah, which I think is genuinely beautiful.
To which, before we get to final thoughts, there is one other thing we should mention. To which it has nothing to do with the cast, but it's just, can we just talk about the final punchline of this show?
Fucking inspired. An inspired, like, what is the final scene? They're all adults now. They're all going home. The demon world's under new management. What do we end? What the fuck do you mean there was more of them? What do you mean there was more evil eyes and they were just on a shelf in a demon gas station? It's like, oh yeah, we had more of these in the back. Only undersold one of them. Not sure why. Guess it was just Dusty.
And the best part is, you saw them. You saw them in the beginning of the show. When they were at that gas station for the first time. They were right there.
Yeah,
and you thought
Legit-
nothing of it until they brought it up.
I can't believe, like, this is how you know this is Toriyama's lifeblood into this one. You don't end on the fucking finale that is Goku Super Saiyan 4 versus the Big Bad. No, you end on a fucking punchline zinger no one would expect. Actually, fucking incredible. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama.
Absolutely.
No one has or will ever do it like you.
Oh yeah.
I'm so glad we could get. I'm so glad we got this show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, I guess we can move on to final thoughts.
It's
Alright,
as far as you know what I'm on.
This thing's so fun, man. Like I there's a lot of Dragon Ball I've not actually watched. I'm the relative neophyte here. I've seen bits of it, and even not knowing who's Supreme Kai, I have no idea who this character is. I've never seen. I don't know who that is. This is not a character I've ever encountered before. But as far as this show is concerned, that's completely irrelevant. Like, I understood why he's important, and he gets good jokes, and that's all that matters. And there's a good fight scene. Like, it is shocking to me how newbie friendly this feels for something that is like clearly so entrenched in like the broader Dragon Ball universe, which I think is to its credit. Like this is a really fun show that doesn't this is not a if you know the lore, you'll get more out of it maybe, but if you don't know shit about Dragon Ball other than there's kicking and punching and you could wish on a dragon, that's fine. That's basically all you need to know to understand this. Maybe not even that, frankly. And this dub's just it's such a goddamn delight. I'm so happy.
I'm mostly
I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know, sorry, yeah?
I just am amazed that we kind of got what feels like. It feels fucked up to say, if I never get another Dragon Ball anime, I could be okay. There will be more Dragon Ball anime. It's a matter of when. It's a matter of when, not if. I'm glad at the very least the final Toriyama anime was as good as it was.
There's something beautiful and tragic about how this is not supposed to be the last Dragon Ball thing Toriyama worked on, and yet it feels perfect for that. Both in that it is so quintessentially Dragon Ball, and so much of it feels like it is riffing on the history in a fun way. This reminds me a lot of you'll get runs in certain superhero comics where clearly part of the point is to be a fun remix of all the shit the current writer loves about that particular series. And this has that same quality to it. And those are often a lot of fun because you can just feel the enthusiasm of the people making it and how much that means to them.
Basically, you know exactly which comics James Gunn loves of Superman in particular when he made that movie.
Exactly. Yeah, precisely. And this, obviously, Toriyama's working on this, but even then it feels like such a wonderful contextualization of, this is the part that Toriyama and the people at Toei who have been making these things for years, this is the stuff they really like about Dragon Ball. And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
What a good little show.
Just watch it. It's very easy. Don't do it. You don't need to know anything. Do you like humor? Do you like it when a dude punches a guy and it's super sick? Do you want to see Goku fight a guy and he pulls off a move so awesome that after he beats him, the dude is just imitating the move because it was just that cool? This is a show for you.
Yeah, the fucking Tamagami literally doing the Kamehameha. That's such a cute detail.
It's just no, that's great. I love that.
I like the fact that it has all the fun and action, but also understands, you know what, Dragon Ball's a little goofy too. So we're going to have the guy Vegeta just beat in a fight, give him a third grade elementary school math problem.
Uh-huh.
And it was like a storybook. It's like, what's the answer? 0! No cookies! Snakes don't eat cookies! That's correct.
That he is right entirely by accident is just the cherry on top.
Yeah.
Patrick.
This show is such a love letter to everything that made Dragon Ball work. And like Amon said, this was very clearly not meant to be the last thing Akira Toriyama got to work on with regards to Dragon Ball, but goddamn, is it such a beautiful send-off. Every aspect of it, from the animation to even the dub work, feels like it is done in tribute to one of the greatest action series to ever exist. This is absolutely 100% worth your time, even if all you know of Dragon Ball Z is two dudes punching each other. Like, check it out.
Look, if you have never watched Dragon Ball, or read Dragon Ball, you should still do that. But, this really does feel like it understands what is fun about Dragon Ball in the best ways.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in itself was kind of beautiful. This is Toriyama accidentally making his send-off that's a celebration of the works and loves of his life. Absurd humor, action, fantasy, RPGs, cool fights, fun jokes, little guys, silly big guys. It's Sandland, it's Dragon Quest, it's Dragon Ball, it's Dragon Ball Z, and it's basically him making Dragon Ball GT all in one beautiful little final Kamehameha. It's incredible. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. I'm glad I could be here tonight talking with you gents about it. I've had a lot of fun. Go watch the show, and to quote the literal song lyrics of Jaka Jaan, thank you, Toriyama.
Alright, and as for me, yeah, I really enjoyed the show. I had a pretty good feeling about it. The second, it just seemed like it was going to be kind of a weird little GT retread, and that Toriyama was going to be more involved than usual, and it really lived up to that. This was a lot of fun. It really reminded me a lot of what made early Dragon Ball so fun, and I think it did a really good job of capturing the spirit of that, while still having a few bits of Z mixed in here and there, especially towards the end with a lot of the big, crazy fights, and I thought it did a pretty good job of balancing those two sides of Dragon Ball pretty well, and yeah, I'd say this is probably my favorite modern iteration of Dragon Ball by far, and definitely worth checking, definitely worth your time, and definitely worth checking out. And the dub does a pretty good job of helping with that. Definitely could have been easy for a lot of these actors to kind of have to step into the roles of not necessarily imitating, but having to invoke the spirits of so many legendary actors, and doing a pretty good job of it. And I really liked what they brought to the table, and it was especially nice to get to hear Stephanie Natalie just return to Goku after all these years and slip back into the role just so perfectly. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, it's clear this wasn't really meant to be the final bit of Dragon Ball media we ever got, but if this does have to be the end, or at least the end as far as Toriyama himself is concerned, this is a really good note to go out on, and it just feels like a really great love letter to everything that makes Dragon Ball great. And, yeah, I guess that more or less wraps things up here. thanks for joining us. We're the Dub Talk Podcast. If you want to catch anything we do, you can find. We usually have new episodes of the podcast going up every other Friday on YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, all your audio listening places. So check us out. Check us out if you get the chance. And if you'd like to support us, you can do so through a one-time donation to our Ko-fi, or you can be one of our lovely patrons. And before we end things tonight, I'd like to give a shout-out to our patrons. So, in the $5 tier, we have Bright Eyes 505, Kimbo Soup, Burnt Salenti, Megan's Mom and Dad, and Michelle Travis. And in the $10 tier, we have Anthony Brown, Carly Lessicow, Julia W., Pika Greg, and Shoulder. And thanks for your support, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thanks a bunch. I love your faces.
And, alright, and, sorry, gentlemen. Please.
Hi there. My name is
Alright,
Andrew,
so
a.k.a.
I'm
Classy...
Patrick, a.k.a. Roots Justice.
What the fuck just happened?
Okay,
It's
that's
like-
fucking staying in.
I love internet. I love internet signals. They're definitely stable.
Jesus Christ. Alright, fucking whatever. Hi, I'm Andrew, aka Classy Spartan. You can find me over on the Blue Skies at classyspartan.bluesky.social. I do have the Twitter account, but I've hit that point where it's like, sure, I will retweet a slightly raunchy anime girl on the Twitter account. Who fucking cares? It's grody, it smells over there too. The classy side of Classy Spartan's over on Blue Sky, and that's the one I actually care about. You can find me over also on Surreal Resolutions Anime Podcast O&A, where we talk about the latest with anime news alongside my buddy Jed. Thank you for having me, man.
Patrick?
Yeah, so my name is Patrick, aka Roots of Justice. You can find me on the Blue Sky at Roots of Justice. Mainly talk general fandom stuff, retweet cute animal pics. It's a good time. Just drop by. And usually at the end of these things, I try to plug a cool thing that I'm doing. So Patrick's cool thing of the day for today is a little flick that was just released by Discotech Media. It is called Party 7. Really awesome heist flick with some animated sequences from Takeshi Koike. Really can't say much more than that, because you should really experience it for yourself.
Okay, Amon?
I'm Amon. You can find me on Blue Sky at Amon Duel US, where I talk about movies and comic books and other bullshit, and also music. And because I talk about music, I have a dusty old song for this episode, which ended up being really hard because I didn't know what track to take. Initially, because Toriyama often liked to joke about how lazy he was, I wanted a song from a musician talking about his own laziness. Turns out there aren't a lot of actually lazy musicians. Most of them just get accused of that, and the only one I could find is John Lennon often talked about how lazy he was and did write a song about it, and I thought putting a Beatles song in this episode is a little too obvious. That's not, like, the Beatles don't need my help to get streams. They're the Beatles. So I instead thought, alright, is there someone vaguely in Toriyama's age cohort, you know, maybe had a similar career track for time periods who I could pick? And I did find one, actually. Even though tonally he does not make any sense. Back in the 70s, a band formed called Yellow Magic Orchestra. They're big deal synth guys. If you talk to music nerds, they'll know who he is. And one of their members was a guy named Arichi Sakamoto. He was with them for a few years, and after they broke up, he went on to a very long career doing electronica, dance music, modern classical. You can watch a very good and very depressing movie he was in called Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, where he tortures David Bowie for 2 hours.
As you do.
I'm not joking.
As you do.
And he continued to do music up until a couple of years ago, where unfortunately he came down with throat cancer. And before passing away, he made, not a song in this case, but a concert movie called Opus, which is basically his last performance at the end of his life. It is very good. It's also kind of a bummer, and if that sounds a little too heavy for the Dragon Ball episode, my alternative for this is Dragon Ball Do-Rag by Thundercat. Because that's a great song. Thundercat is great. The music video is very funny, and I just feel like there's such beautiful, rich symbolism just in the phrase Dragon Ball Do-Rag. Like it feels like a real testament to just the wide-reaching influence of Akira Toriyama that we're getting songs like that at all.
Oh, Dragon Ball Do-Rag's it's a great single, and he's doing that music video while literally wearing Vegeta chains. It's so good.
I love Thundercat. He's so cool.
Oh, he's so cool. It's great. Great concert.
So yeah, check that. Check one of those out, depending on how you're feeling.
Okay. And as for me, you can find me on Blue Sky at Jet Zero Infinity, where usually just be talking about anime news, video games, or I guess just whatever I feel like talking about. Like Andrew was saying, you can also find me on Drew and the Rusins podcast O&A, where we usually just use the breeds to talk about anime news. You can also sometimes find me on my blog, The Dirty Abyss, where I will sometimes write about whatever sort of good stuff I'm reading if I feel like it, and you can also find me doing some freelance work on A&N, where I'll usually just be doing some weekly anime reviews. This season I'm doing reviews for Witch Watch and Sakamoto Days, so I guess...
Also, if you want, because it is related to this episode, you can read his entire series review of Dragon Ball Daima as it was airing week to week on A&N.
Yeah, that was really fun time. Yeah, I guess that more or less wraps things up for today.
Thanks for having us. This was a ton of
time, man.
Yeah,
no, this was a ton of fun. I had a good time with this.
It was an honor, honestly.
I compared Lex Luthor to Bulma. I'm pretty sure that made a lot of people very upset.
Yeah, we're going to have a conversation about that later. Yeah, I guess that does it. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And once again, just a really big thank you to the late and great Akira Toriyama. Just truly the greatest to ever do it. May he rest in peace.
Amen.
Akira Toriyama is genuinely one of the only people I could say, I will honor you by taking the biggest shit of my life, and I think he would actually take that as a compliment.
Oh, probably.
That man loved poop jokes more than anything.
Yeah, do that. You should read Dr. Slump anyways. It's really funny, guys.
Honor Akira Toriyama's legacy.
You should read Dr. Slump on the toilet. It will make him smile in heaven.
Appropriately, it has its own Superman knockoff. He's really short and he zooms around on a skateboard. Not riding it, he just lies down on his tummy.
Incredible. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama, and thank you.
Thank you. And, yep, so, once again, thanks for joining us, friends, and until next time.
Otaku on.
Rock over Boston, rock on Chicago.